Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you're having just a wonderful week. I'm here with a good friend, Chris McCauley. He is a fellow YouTuber. We actually have pretty similar channels. We're both just kind of on the lookout for passive income, making money, side hustles, all those types of things. I've really appreciated Chris. Honestly, I think I've told Chris this before, but he was one of the guys when I first started that was like, I want my channel to be like Chris McCauley. It was Chris McCauley and Jesse Eckel were the two, and your friend Andy also. But they was like, I want to just do what they're doing. This looks amazing. So it's cool to have him on the channel. He's a good friend now. We talk pretty regularly just about different stuff that's going on. I like Chris too because he is not stuck in the crypto space. So he's been in the crypto space and has made money from there. But he's not like a crypto first guy. He's just like, hey, I just want to make passive income. I just want to help people make money. And that's honestly, that's my attitude too. So really cool. Good to have you back, Chris. Can you give us a quick introduction? While you do that, I'll leave a link to your YouTube channel. I want everyone to go subscribe to him. But give us a quick introduction of yourself. Then we will talk into Amazon distribution.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on. Yeah, I have a background in e-commerce. I have been investing in crypto since 2017. I started YouTube back in 2017, and I was mainly just talking about e-commerce. And then it was in 2021, I was like, I'm just going to pivot and just start talking about other stuff I'm doing. I kind of pigeonholed myself. I was talking about a bunch of different stuff, and then crypto got the most traction. And so that's kind of my channel now is background in e-commerce, crypto, and then different things that I'm personally doing to make money. And I run a few other companies outside of this. And yeah, that's pretty much about me, man.
Okay, love it. Audience, as we're going, please hit hello. Good to see all you guys. Dane and Itchy and Ben. Good to see all of you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. I want you to comment your ideal. This is for the people in the audience, whether you're watching it live or as a replay. If you could have any passive income stream, so just imagine all that are out there. If you could have anyone like already set up for you, already working, what would it be? It could be something on Amazon, some kind of Etsy shop. Just let me know. I'm just curious as in a dream scenario, if you didn't have to set it up and all those types of things. So Chris, so we're here to talk mainly about Amazon distribution. Before we get to that, could I kind of just hear a little breakdown of some of the things that you're working on? What's kind of working for you? What's some of the stuff that you've been working on recently that has not worked out, and get kind of just a lay of the land, and then we'll dive in to Amazon distribution specifically.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, doing a lot of stuff. Always have things going on in the background, trying different ways to make money. But right now, I mean, my bread and butter, and it's still to this day, I refuse to walk away from it because of just the skill set I have behind it is Amazon FBA. I mean, I've been doing that for 6 years, and I've built up a network of suppliers. So I know how to do it. That's how I make most of my money is through Amazon. And then YouTube, I've tried some of the stuff that I've tried a lot of stuff that doesn't work. I've tried Etsy drop shipping multiple times. I've tried the faceless YouTube channels, and I'm actually looking for someone to partner with on that, where I'm just like, hey, look, if this really is real, if it's so good, then, show me you can do it. And everybody wants me to pay them first. And I'm like, okay, you're proving my point, where it's like, if we can figure this out, I'll drive so much traffic. We can finally figure something out like that. But anyway, tried that. That didn't work. I currently still do Facebook drop shipping, and that makes me about, I don't know, anywhere between 750 and $1,000 a month. Turo, I do Turo. I've got 3 vehicles on Turo that make me anywhere between $600 and $1,100 a month per vehicle. But yeah, those are my main. I'm trying not to do too much because I love business. And the thing is by doing too much, I think I'm working on a watch strap company too in the background for Hublots, which it's like a watch company that ranges between like $3,000 and $13,000. And so I've been working on that the last 6 months, and that should be pretty good too. But yeah, anyway, I'm not trying to do too many things, but I just love business, and sometimes that happens.
Oh yeah.
So Yeah,
No, I'm in the same boat. I have done too much of a shotgun approach where I've like been trying so many different things where I haven't like given any one thing quite enough umption that I need to do. So I'm trying to cut out, focus a little bit more, and maybe I'm going to try three things, but I'm actually going to put in, like you can't put 100% into three things, but I'll at least put in 33.3 infinity percent into, one of these
perfect.
things. And
I love that. I
yeah.
love that.
Before we get into Amazon, Arvin wants to know, can you comment on your Turo? And we've talked about that. I don't remember if we've ever done a video on it, but do you just want to talk about your Turo experience? Do you think that would work in smaller cities? I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. Are you still seeing demand, or what's kind of been your take on Turo?
Yeah, so I'm located in Santa Barbara, California, and it's actually a really good spot. So I think the thing is when it comes to Turo is what's your town like? And the best thing to do is just experiment with your own vehicle. Price it affordably. And that's what I did with mine. I remember like I started it was in April of 2022 and I was a little nervous about it because I was like, "Oh my gosh, someone's going to rip my car." And I mean, it's going so good. I'm really surprised with how good it's going. I think it's Santa Barbara is a great location. I built an NFT collection to launch a fleet of Turo cars, and I'm actually pivoting it to what we're going to be talking about today because I just think the returns are a little bit better. And I've never done an NFT collection before, so I was like, okay, I just want the one that is going to make people the most money, but it's still Turo's a like a great business opportunity. You can make about 7% a month, 10% a month after depreciation, after gas, insurance, all that stuff. If you're in a good market, vehicle also is dependent upon that as well. And these gas prices, I don't know about where they're at, but here in Cali, I mean, some vehicles I was making about $1,100 a month on. Now it's like 700-800 bucks, which is still great. I mean, that's after all expenses, and it makes all my cars free. Like it's free, everything. But it's just, you are kind of subjected to that end of the market.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. And each city's going to have its own market. So I love that
Yep.
advice. If it's something you want to give a try, just give it a try. If you have two cars, you and your spouse, try it with one of them, a few times a month or something like that. And just kind of get the experience, kind of get, okay, how often do these actually get rented out? And kind of go from there. Don't go out and just buy a bunch of cars and then hope it works out. That's what I would
Not good.
recommend for you. So, Soon says, Dane says, would like to have some kind of leveraged compounding business as hands off as possible, but profit is king. Yep. Amen. That's the dream, right? All right. Well, let's get over to Amazon distribution. And we'll talk at the end. If you guys have more questions for Chris, I can have him back to talk about these other things too. But let's talk about Amazon distribution. So maybe you can just kind of walk us through what is this? We know what Amazon is, but what is Amazon distribution? How's it been working for you? And tell us about what you're kind of looking for people to do.
Yeah. So essentially, when it comes to selling on Amazon, the main bottleneck is finding good products. Like, you can teach someone how to do it, but the thing is that they're still going to have to go out there and find their own products to buy and sell, right? And I've been doing this for, I don't know, half a decade, and I'm looking at my network of products, and I'm thinking, okay, how can I make money doing this? Like I'm already spending 100 to 150K a month, and it's how can I leverage some of these other products? I could go out and get loans and buy the rest of these products, but I want to diversify, right? So then I'm thinking, how can I help other people make money with these products? Well, the typical ROI, I'm selling, to be clear, I'm not buying from Alibaba. I'm not drop shipping. I am buying products directly from US suppliers, name brand products, right? And I have about $1 million worth of products I can buy. And there are a couple ways you can I'm like, I could monetize this. Well, I could act as a broker, and there's different levels of suppliers in Amazon FBA. There's distributors, there's the manufacturers, and then there's essentially like brokers, and they'll just facilitate one deal to the next. I'm acting as the latter. And so what I'm doing is I'm making an offer so good. My goal was to make an offer so good that people couldn't say no. So what I'm doing is I'm selling people, I'm doing a free 30-day trial where I let people buy my products at my cost. And then at the end of 30 days, you'll make about a 20% ROI, maybe more, maybe less. I'm advertising, or maybe more. It's going to be more, right? 20% ROI. And then the only thing I ask is that I take a profit of the profit, right? That's the 30-day trial. Okay. So let's say you spend 10K, you make 2K, I take $400. Now, this is where the decision is made, where I'm like, okay, I could monetize this. I could upsell my products, but the margins aren't really there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially collect a one-time payment of 3 months profit up front to continue the next 3 months. So this is after a 30-day trial. You've already made $2,000. I don't make money unless you make money. And then I'm doing that. That's a 3-month break even. Now, if you're familiar with Amazon automation, not only are a lot of these businesses, I have a video on my channel talking about it. A lot of these Amazon automation companies, what they're doing is they're drop shipping products, which drop shipping is technically allowed on Amazon. But number one is there are so many stipulations you have to stick to. And if that company is doing one wrong thing, your account will get suspended. And guess what? These Amazon automation companies are charging 20 to 25 grand and maybe more. I've heard of some that are charging 50, where the break even time is 12 to 15 months, which, okay, like you can look up semi truck automation where you can buy a semi fleet for like 100 grand. I don't know if you've heard of that. There's real estate. And the reason why the break even on these is about 1 year is because return on investment isn't just return on your money. It's also the time that you put in as well, right? It's why real estate, when you invest in real estate, yeah, it's only, whatever percent per year, it's on the lower end, but you have an appreciating asset. And if you set it up right, maybe you don't have to put a lot of time into it. I know a lot of people who do put a lot of time into their properties. That's neither here nor there. But when it comes to this, is that you're making, well, let's say you're making 20% a month, and then you pay me the 20% of the 20%, which would be about, what is that, 4%. You're making 15% a month, completely hands off. So not only am I selling you products, but essentially that 3 months of estimated profit, which is 6 grand, that is completely hands off. That is a service fee for me doing everything for you: repricing, reconciliations, buying the products, checking the products for you, all of these things. And the thing is that I don't make money unless you make money. That's like, sure, I'm collecting that one-time fee, but I make way more money in the long run. In the 12, I want people to work with me for 2 or 3 years. I'm going to make way more money that way. And Warren Buffett says, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. I'm directly, essentially, these are products that I'm buying, right? These are products that are personally out of my own catalog. So I'm pooling all of our funds together, and essentially I'm like, look, I'm going to churn our funds as quickly as possible. I'm going to churn this capital as quick as possible. You get the money back, then you buy more products. Now, the way I am doing this is I'm doing these in 10K slots. So, and hold on, if you don't have 10K, I've got an option for that too. But, I want to talk about that. I'm doing these in 10K slots. So, and up to 3 slots. So that means that if you're spending 10K, that's and you can spend 30 grand the first month free in your first trial if you want to, and you make, 20% of that, that's 6 grand, right? And, if you want to, but if you wanted to continue with the 3 spots afterwards, it would be 6 grand per slot. And the reason why I'm doing that is I'm capping it is because I'm not trying to build a network of like 3 people. It'd be easier to manage, but I want to go wider. And let's say some guy comes in and he's like, I want to spend 30 grand, and he would make his money back in 1 month, and that wouldn't be fair to me. Like, this network I've built up is I think 3-month break even time compared to what the going market is. It's a steal. A 3-month break even time is what I'm shooting for, and that's a steal. And then the biggest question is well, it's like, why are why would I want to pay you 20%? Why not go out and do this on my own? And my thing is please, I have a course. I have free courses and I have a paid course teaching and tons of YouTube videos teaching you how to do this exact same thing. So by all means, go out there and learn how to do it and build a team. Like I'm helping people right now do the same thing. But on top of that though, let's say you don't have 10 grand, you don't want to learn how to do it, you want it hands off. I am doing an NFT collection. It's live right now. You can go, yeah, exactly. Where if you can, it's a $300 NFT where essentially once I get about 10 grand, so that would be roughly about 30 NFTs, I will then deploy those funds. And the percentage is going to be higher, right? Like I can't offer a 20%, 20% of the cut on it wouldn't be fair to the bigger guys, right? Like the more money you have, you get that bulk discount, right? So if you do only have a $300 slot, I am going to take more percentage. I'm going to take a higher percentage of the fee, but it's still, if you look at compared to the monthly profit of what you can make in an inventory based Amazon business, it's still, great returns. So that's essentially what I'm doing. I tried to figure out like a little bit of something for everyone to where wasn't difficult for me either. Not where I'm not placing $1,000 orders with my suppliers. And it's, just because it's the same amount of work for me, whether someone comes to me with 20K or someone comes to me with 2K. And it's like, I would rather just work with the people that with the 10 grand and up. But I'm like, but there's a lot of people who don't have that option as well. So I tried to, cater to them too. So essentially that's it, man. It's Amazon distribution. It's done for you distribution. Essentially it's done for you distribution. Hands off Amazon done the right way. I've a track record. Like, I'm pretty respected in the Amazon FBA community. You can look up Amazon FBA on YouTube, ask any one of them about me. They'll be like, oh yeah, Chris, he's a legit guy. I would hope so. I don't know why they wouldn't say that. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay. No, I love this. This is amazing. A couple questions. First off,
Sure.
How do people get access to the NFT? Where do we go for that?
I can send you the link to drop in here. It's brandlabsx.com.
Oh, okay. Is it down here? I saw
X. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now.
Okay.
For you. And yeah, that is and it's just a wait list right now. So it is live, but like I'll turn it on after this for my next YouTube video. I don't know if any of you guys follow me or not, but my next YouTube video, it will be available. And right now it's a pretty small NFT collection. It's 300, it's 400, $300 NFTs. So it's yeah, it's it's not like a super huge NFT collection, but like for me though, if I can make 20% of 20% a month on that, it's like that's 20 grand profit coming in, more than 20 grand profit coming in on that 120K. And then it's, I'll take 20% of that. So it's it should work out pretty good.
So is this are you going to have a DApp, or how are people going to get paid out from the NFT?
Because what Amazon does is I'm not doing the way that Amazon works is they do bi-monthly payouts. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to get the money in my bank account, and then that money in the bank account is going to have to get transferred back into crypto, and then it'll just be essentially, I don't know if airdrop is the right word. I don't know if airdrop is the right word, but it would be, just crypto to your wallet, the same wallet that you paid with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then do you know what chain the NFTs are going to be on?
Yeah, it's on BNB.
Okay.
BNB. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. So I left a link to this. This is just for the whitelist. This is not available quite yet, correct? But soon.
Correct. Yeah, I'm opening it up for my next video. I might open it up after the call, and then just my next video goes live next week. And there we go. Yeah, Brand Labs. brandlabx.com. And that's the one I was originally going to do Turo thing on, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just do Amazon. I don't think it's been updated yet, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, just there's better returns. There's better returns on Amazon, and I have so much product at my disposal. So
Nope, totally got that.
yeah.
Let's see. We got a bunch more questions. Let's do this one. Any securities legal issues to be worried about? Did you kind of go through that on your NFT?
Yeah. So I hired an attorney in Wyoming, and there are stipulations there are stipulations that I have to go through to make this to where it is allowed, right? And I've got that all set up on the back end. But that's also another reason why I'm not doing, you know, I can't do more than a 500,000 the way I have it set up through the securities. So yeah, I did all that stuff. Um, yeah, good question though. Really good question.
Nope. Great question.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense on the NFT. So again, if you don't have the 10K, which is the minimum kind of to do this without the NFT, then go join the waitlist for the NFT. That'll be available here before too long. So let's get some more details about this. We had a couple questions on this. So kind of how it works is, so you need 10K to get started, correct? That's the minimum.
Correct. Yeah, 10K. And that's for inventory. That's not paying me. That's to buy the products, right? Because what you're doing is you're wiring me the money and then I wire the supplier the money, right? Because I can't just be like wire the supplier, because then in wholesale, the main barrier to entry is the contacts. I can't give you the connect because then then you'll just go out and buy the products. It's very
Right.
simple. The hard part is finding the suppliers. So no one gives out their actual suppliers. I sent a form too in this chat as well, so you can essentially apply, so I can see, do you meet the qualifications? You can be anywhere across the world. We're working with a guy in Switzerland, a guy in New Zealand. You can be anywhere. It's just you have to set up a US Amazon account, which anyone can do. Anyone can do. So, yep. And if you're currently selling on Amazon, that's okay too.
Okay.
That's totally fine. We will only manage your products because some of the guys we have are already selling on Amazon or they're working on their own. We will only manage the products that we are purchasing for you. If that makes sense.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yep.
Is that form that's the same link that if you click here, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Same one. I just sent the link that goes directly to it if you just want to go straight to the questionnaire. But yeah, it's the same one.
Okay, gotcha. So you're paying 10K, and that's just for inventory.
Yep.
There's no fees
No
until
fees.
profits made for that for the first 30 days.
Yep.
And then do you get your initial back and 2K profit, or
Yes,
how does that work?
Yeah. It's going to go straight to your bank account. Like this is your Amazon account. You're just giving me user permissions, right? So it's like, this is your bank account. Like you're going to get the 10K plus the 2K back. If you want to not pay me the money, you could not pay me. You could, take the 2K and be gone. But the thing is though, is that if you want to continue, it'd be like, well, why would you, not pay 400 to make an extra 2K a month? You wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's set up to where it's like, there is some trust there on my end. But yeah, you'll get the 10K plus the 2 or however much it is, right? 2,500 or 3K, whatever the ROI is on that. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's an amazing deal because everyone else takes their profit up front, and then you're kind of just left. Well, I hope this works out, So
No, and that's what I'm saying. My goal is to make an offer so good that people like, that's my thing, right? Like if I'm thinking about it as the customer, I'm like, I love Alex Hormozy, and he says, make an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no. Like there's nothing, the only thing you can lose here is just if something happens to the product on Amazon. It's a risk. It's what happens on Amazon. But at least I can say these are coming out of products that I'm personally selling. So if for whatever reason something were to happen to those products, guess what? I'm in the same boat as you. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the same, like I'm just as vested as someone else, right? So
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
He's the godfather for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm make an offer you can't refuse,
Yeah.
right? No, I
Yeah.
love that. So if you put in 10K, first month's free, you'll get 12K ish,
12. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
something like that. Then you have the option if you want to keep going, it's 6K for each 10K slot, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And that's a one time fee, right? So 6K. And then what that does is it guarantees 10K worth of inventory every month. And you can get up to 30K, right? Like up to 30. Like I said, I'm not trying to, like, I've had a couple of guys that are like, I want to spend 100 to 200 grand. And I'm like, that's great, man. But I just I don't want to just go super deep on a few people. You know what I mean? I want to build
Yeah.
out like a nice chunk of ideally 50 people. I think would be is like really grow with 50 people that I consider that I can like build a connection with. We could call each other friends and go from there. So
Okay, amazing. And then, so you're paying 6K for, is it 6K for each 10K slot? So if you did 30K, it'd be
it'd be
18K.
18K,
Okay.
correct? Yeah, and the break even time on that is still the same, right? So it's still the same amount, and and like I was explaining earlier, that's why I set it up like that because some guy comes in, pays 30K, spends 1 month break even time, no work at all involved. Like for me, I just feel like that's not. I'm getting short sighted. Good business is where everybody wins, right? I like sharing how, like, letting people know, like, how am I making money? What's in this for me? I think that's just as valid a question as, what's in it for me from the customer, from your guys' perspective. So
Yep, absolutely. No, love that. And then does this go, so you pay the 6K for the 10K after the 30-day trial.
after the 30 days, yep.
Does that go forever then, or how long is that going to be good for
As
that
long
6K?
as you want. As long there's no like going like ideally the way I see this going is you know down the road there being some type of like yearly fee or something like that. I don't know, like a couple grand. But guess what? All the people that got in before, they're getting grandfathered in. And so I like it would just be new people. Because the thing is that when that 30-day, if someone wants to continue, there's essentially like a contract that goes into place where it's like, it says this is a one-time fee, $6,000. You know what I mean? Like it's that way you're protected. It just lays it all out, right? Um, because that's something else someone asked me. They're like, "Can I see a contract on this before starting?" And like for the free trial, and I'm like, "No, not on the free trial because I'm gonna, it's costing me about $400 a person to do this. Like I actually make negative money, so I'm not gonna send a contract on something that I'm gonna lose money on. Like it's, you know." And then at day 31, hit me up, and then I'll send it over to you, and then
Yeah,
you
and
can
we'll do a
ask questions
contract
and
then.
stuff like that.
Okay. Amazing. All right. Very, very straightforward. We do have a whole bunch of questions from the audience, so I want to get to those. I always like to ask, what do you see? You kind of talked a little bit about this, but what do you see as potential risks for someone doing this?
It's the same risk as to why I'm not going out and getting a bank loan for $1 million to do this all myself, man. It is the nature of the beast. When you're on any platform, any third party platform, like you get all like it's making YouTube videos, like Amazon, all this other stuff. You get access to their audience, but if they say jump, you have to say how high, right? So the thing is that it goes with any of this is that at any given point in time, Amazon can be like, hey, look, we are gating this product, or um, that's a big one is the gating issue, right? Like I'll give you an example. In 2021, I think we did like $5 million in revenue. Not quite five, like 4.5. At the end of the year, Amazon sent out a letter saying, hey, so we were selling a lot of Sony PlayStation, which was 21% of our catalog at the time. What is that? $800,000 in revenue. And they're like, hey, look, you cannot sell these, no third party sellers. Like it's not just you, it's no third party sellers, right? They didn't give a reason, they didn't tell you anything. It just is what it is, right? That is the risk. You're essentially the risk of the products themselves, right? And
Okay.
so you know, if you took my course, you can see the vetting process I do for products. Like I have a very strict vetting process. So you can kind of learn the language. That way I'm not just sending you an invoice for items where I'm like, hey, these are your items. These are the ROI. This is what you're selling. You can take anyone who does this gets access to my $1,000 course for free. I'm selling it for 500 right now, but you get to it for free. That way, if you want to learn the language, you can. So it's there for you.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. Let's go through some of these questions that the audience
Sure.
has. First off, Pocket, welcome to the community. I'm glad that you could, and Chris, that's funny because he's my community manager. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
welcome, Pocket. Always good to have you back. I have Amazon sellers account. What if I can't sell your product in my account? Because everyone's going to need their own Amazon sellers account for this, correct?
That's a great question. Yeah. So everyone has their own seller account. We help you set up your seller account. Um, and that way I'm not, you know, it's not acting as a security essentially where it's like, hey, look, like I'm selling you product. Like I'm selling you product. That's all I'm doing here, just any distributor, right? And so what's happening here is that if we check all the gating issues, right? So let's say we have 100 products we can buy. We understand that not every Amazon account can sell every product. So we're only going to issue you products that you can actually sell. We're not going to sell you some products and then you're gated. Now that doesn't mean to say though that we can't sell you some products and then for whatever reason Amazon gates you in the process. But ideally, if that were to happen, we would figure out a solution there. Maybe even just sell it to someone else who can buy the product or who can sell the products. But yeah, it's a good question.
And then how long do you sometimes with a couple of these we've done some as a community, some done for you Amazon and stuff like that.
For sure.
And we've had a long time to get stores opened and approved and things like
Yep.
that. How long would you say that usually takes for you when you're doing it?
Man, yeah, that's it. Because I mean, it's all over the place. I've seen it happen in a few days. I've seen it, take a month or two. The biggest thing is, I would say on average, probably 2 weeks. But that's, I feel like the people that I could get it done in a week but so many people they're so focused on, and this is just, me ranting for a second, but people are so focused on like doing everything by the book and signing up for the LLC and all of these steps that don't actually matter. The first thing you should be focused on is making money. Make money first, and then you can transition your Amazon account to an LLC. You can backdate the LLC to where all this other stuff that's honestly the reason why it takes 2 weeks. And I'm not here to tell people, if you want to set up your Amazon account as an S corp and it takes you a month, by all means, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I'm just saying you could take 5 days and then you're making money, you get going a lot quicker. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, nope. I love that because that's how I approach things too, is because yeah, a lot of people want to put up all this setup work, and then by the time it comes to actually sell stuff, they're like, actually, never mind. I've done, it
Yeah.
was too much work setting up this LLC and everything. So I
Yeah.
love your approach. Let's make money first. That will motivate you. Okay, hey, you made some money. You made $2,000. You made $1,000. Let's get an LLC form now to
Now let's
keep
get
this going.
exactly. Yeah.
Yep, we are like-minded people. That's why I like you. Let's see. Let me get through some of these questions. We got some good questions in here. Let me scroll through them a
Sure.
little bit. Getting a good feeling. That's good. Good to hear that, Dane. Why do you need us? You kind of answered this. Why do you need us? Is it just for capital or are there limitations by Amazon? That's a good question. Is it helpful to have this spread out among multiple Amazon accounts, or is it mainly the capital that you're looking for?
It's it's the same. I mean, I'll say it again, is that I could go out and get the money to buy all of these products, but at the end of the day, I'm putting all of my eggs in one basket, right? Like distribution is another income stream for me. Like that's why I was talking about this earlier. Like, what's in it for me? That's what's in it for me, right? Like, is there a higher ROI by selling the items on Amazon myself? Sure. But if you look at what the ultra wealthy are doing, They are using other people's capital to make money for them. I have an entire network over here that I've built up over the years, a skill set of automating Amazon businesses and just understanding what makes a good product and a bad product. So it's like, it's a win-win because I get to make money, I get to diversify, and I get to help other people make money by not having to take my course, because I have a course, but not everybody does it. Like, how many times have you bought something and then you just don't do it all the way, or
Usually.
whatever? It's yeah, it's easy to do, and this completely bypasses all of that. So I'm trying to solve multiple problems here, not only for myself, but obviously the main one is for you guys, the end consumer. Does that make sense? Do you have any follow-up
Yep.
questions to that? Hopefully that makes sense.
Nope. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
And then another thing we've been burned by in the past is there were secret, like, oh, after a year, there's a new fee introduced that we didn't tell you about before. We've run into this with other companies we've worked with. Is there going to be any future fees that people need to be aware of?
No. So that's what I'm saying is that that's why on day 31, if you want to continue, you get a contract that says, to protect you, to where it says, look, this is a one-time fee, right? Now, it doesn't mean that I won't, to new people going forward. Like, let's say I'm like, let's say I want to take on 50 to 80. I can take on 50 to 80 people, right? Depending on how much each person spends. And let's say I'm like, I find new inventory and now I can take on 100 new people. It doesn't mean that those new people, I might be like, oh, there's going to be like a yearly $2,000 fee if you want to do this, but that'll be specified in the contract. And there's not going to be any hidden fees. So like, my name is on this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the tip of the iceberg. I want people to do future deals with me. I want to build up a network of just killer people that I helped make a lot of money. And the back end is that there's going to be a lot more to come from. If I can help make someone 20K, they're going to be like, okay, what's your next deal, man? What else you got?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking long term here. This isn't just Amazon. Like, this is much, much bigger. I'm thinking like I'm trying to think 3 steps ahead, if that makes sense.
Yep. Absolutely. Love it. Love it a lot. Travis says Amazon's latest Section 3 violations, sellers are getting shut down. Yeah, there's a lot of Amazon regulation things that you have to kind of.
Until they provide their supplier. So if you're our supplier, we'll have to send Amazon your supplier info to get up again. That's if you get, yeah. So that's if you get suspended. And so what Travis is talking about here, if anyone's familiar, like Amazon, they are, especially during Q4, they crack down on supply chain. And the whole goal here is to prove that the products are authentic, they're not stolen or anything like that, because it's Amazon's name on the line, right? So there is a chance where Amazon may, it could be a particular brand, SKU, whatever it is, and they may be like, we want to see invoices or whatever. So then at that point, you would submit the invoice that I gave to you from my distribution company, right? And then there's a chance where Amazon may be like, okay, we need to see more. And so what would happen then? Once again, you're giving us access on the back end. And so what we would do is we would submit that invoice that our supplier invoiced us for. We would submit that, and then, maybe go up the chain from there. I've never had it go past the chain. This is 6 years selling on Amazon, though. This is definitely something, if you sell long enough, you do deal with, for sure. Good point, Travis.
Absolutely. Is the NFT a one-time purchase that earns indefinitely, or is there a re-up involved like the normal 10K investment option? So will there ever be any new fees for the NFT holders, or is that kind of a similar thing? You're putting in your money and then you're just going to get return for until
you just get return. Yeah, you just get returns forever, right? So it's like I raised, it's 120K. That's what I have it set up as right now. It's like, we're going to be earning money from that 120K each month, right? And so it's just going to be recurring from that NFT. So yeah, there's not going to be any. I'm really trying to set this up in the beginning really, really good. Like, that's my goal, is to not get rich doing this. Like, I want to really set this up for the in person to be like, why wouldn't I want to do that? That's my whole goal here. That's the plan.
Okay, awesome. And if we already have an Amazon account, will it work okay with that, or it kind of
Better.
depends?
It's better. If you already have an Amazon account, it's, you're starting 2 steps ahead for sure.
Okay, awesome. And then you mentioned earlier, is this available for people outside of US and Canada? Yes.
You just have to set up an account in the US because the US is the biggest Amazon market. It's not even close. Any other country is dwarfed by the US market.
Okay, gotcha. Do you need a business license in California?
No, you do not.
Okay. All right. And then can you go back over the fees and payout again? You pay 10K. So I'll say it and then you
Sure.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure. Let's
So
do
you
it.
pay 10K. After month 1, you'll get back 12K or whatever that whatever that works out to be. If you want to continue, you can just be done there. If you're like, okay, good, I got my 2K, I'm good to go. If you want to keep going, then it's going to be 10K for the inventory again. But then there's a one-time 6K fee to Chris that's going to be for all the work that he's doing, getting the right
Service
products,
fee,
the
essentially.
connections, all that stuff. That's just a one-time, and then that 10K, you'll pay the 10K and then get back your 12 or 13K each month, and then you'll pay another 10K each month, or how does that kind of work?
Yeah, so I think this is kind of indirectly, but like I'm taking it as like the cash flow, situation, which is a great question. So, there's going to be, when we send you an invoice and you pay, there's going to be anywhere between 7 and 15-day lead time on the products. Could be, less than that if they have them on hand. But well, I'm just saying 7 to 15. Then the products ship into Amazon, they sell. We're not selling more than 2 to 3 weeks. Sorry, 3 to 4 weeks worth of inventory on any SKU. And that means that if we sell some guy 2 weeks worth of a SKU, we cannot sell more than 2 weeks worth of inventory on that SKU. No more than 30 days of a total SKU of captured sales on a particular product, right? And so that means that there's those SKUs that sell on the back end, that 30-day mark, Amazon pays out 2 weeks after that. So from your original capital, it take about like, the way the Amazon payout structure works, it probably like 45 days from day 1 of sale to the last day 30 of getting your product, or of selling day 30 of the product, right? So that's about 6 weeks. So there's going to be some lag time here. And this goes for like if you've ever done Facebook Marketplace, drop shipping or whatever, to get an inventory flow. Usually it'll like by month 2. So if you wanted to take that original 10K that you had and flip it back into it, it's probably going to be near the end of the next 30 days to where you wanted to put that in. Or what some people can do is, and there's no pressure to do this here, is you can take that original, you can add more funds in to kind of speed it up. Like if day 31 came around, you're like, I want my 10K order. Boom, there you go. But you're probably not going to have your funds back to invest back into it. It's probably going to be like a 2 to 3 month lag time. Or, especially if you're like, I want to buy 2 licenses now. Well, then it's probably going to be like between 3 and 4 months before the lag time on that kind of catches up. It just is what it is. I battled this I grew an Amazon business from scratch. I did this for like 2.5 years, where it was just like, but then eventually you're getting these payouts that are just like, what's going on? Like,
Yep, totally. So you
so
can lag it out and use your
you
profit
can,
from the last
yes.
month, but if you want to speed it up, then you might want access to more than 10K. If you want it to be like this strictly each month, you're getting some return, because just the cash flow is not going to work out that nicely if you're just doing that 10K.
And I'm not here to tell people what to do. That's completely based on the goals of the person, for sure.
Yep, absolutely. James is a good student. He was listening. That's right. Funny Turo, I was listening.
Yeah.
Question, 2 questions for me, and then we have another question from Scott. Is it possible to use a credit card to get the points and stuff like that on the 10K that's going to inventory?
Yeah, you can. So because not every supplier lets you do this, but because I have it set up that way. Now, the thing is, and this goes across the board, there will be a 3% fee on the credit card. But if you know anything about credit card churning, that with a good sign-on bonus and just signing up for a new business account, 3% is nothing. You can make 8 to 10%. And so then you're okay. Now you're making an additional 5 to 7% on the sign-on bonus. And, you know, you can do that. Like I get 4 new credit cards a year. You know what I mean? So it's like, so yeah, you could do that for sure. Good question.
Okay. So, but there will be a 3% fee. So if you don't have some credit card plan, you shouldn't probably use your credit card. Well, you
No,
can,
I
but it'd be
would
cheaper to wire or AC. Do
for
you do
sure.
ACH or just wire?
ACH. Yeah, for sure. ACH as well. Yep.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Then my other question, um, if there's anybody here who doesn't have 10K, can I loan them 10K and then me take half the profits?
You can do whatever you want to do. I had some guys hit me up, these like really savvy 19-year-old guys, and they're like, I only have 3K, whatever. And I'm like, look, if you want to pool together, you know, like if you want to pool together and get the, you know, the 10K discount, because the NFTs takes more, like obviously try to get the 10K. You could go out and get 20 people that do $500 each. I don't care. As long as I'm only dealing with one person and the 10K order, that's it. You know?
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in that, let me know, and
Yeah.
I'd work something out with you for sure.
That's awesome.
I'm struggling to see the advantage of the 10K option versus the NFT option, other than you don't get back your initial at the end of the month in case you wanted to totally quit. There'll be quite a bit lower return on the NFTs than if you sent in the 10K, right?
Yep. So the 10K it's 20% of the profit, right? So and the NFT is 35% of the profit, right? Like so that's I had to. I mean, I have to give the bulk discount to the people that are spending 10K. It's just it is what it is. You know, like
Yeah.
I and 20% is still it's a really good deal. So I had to mark it up. And a lot of these Amazon automation companies too, they're taking more than that. I called around before I did this. I already knew, but I'd verified on about 4 or 5 of the top guys out there. So yeah, that is the advantage of the 10K option.
Gotcha. Um, Let me see here. I feel like I had something else to say about that. Oh, yeah, there's got to be a higher fee on the NFT because there's going to be more work involved for you in
Yes,
that. Setting up the
exactly.
store, getting it all set up. So there's
Yep.
just so if you have the 10K and you want to do your own store, get more of a profit, do it that way. But again, if you don't have the 10K, you don't feel like I don't even want to mess around with starting up a store or anything like that, then the NFT will be an option for you.
Exactly.
Does Amazon report sales to the tax officials? Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yep.
I can answer that one. Can we reset the room, please? What is the opportunity summary? So if you missed anything, you can watch the replay if you want all the details. To sum it up, the two things that you can do right now is there's an NFT that is just a wait list for now. So this will be available soon. But this is the NFT version. The offering itself is 10K for the first month, estimated 20% that you'll get back, and then you'll get back your full 12K or whatever. Then after that, there is going to be, you can re-up for a 6K fee for every 10K you put in, a one-time fee, and then that'll go on forever, and you'll get your 2K or 2,500 or whatever profit there is. Chris will take his portion, and you'll be good to go. So that kind of sums it up. If you want all the full details, this replay will be available right when we're done. I'm also going to record another video with just me kind of summing it up, a nice like 12-minute snippet for people. So I hope that answers your question. 20% and 35% is your take, correct? And that's right? That's your profit.
Respectively, yeah. 10K and then the NFT one would be, if you go the NFT route, it would be 35, correct?
Gotcha. And Ben says, interested, but I don't want to do anything. What is involved in setting up an account? So the NFT might be your option there.
Yeah.
Setting up an account. Do you want to just talk through what's involved in setting up an account, how much work it is?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll hop on a call with you and help you knock it out in about 30 minutes. But Amazon asks for things like, you know, you might have to submit like an ID, whether it's a passport or you know, driver's license, some type of government ID. They'll ask for like a bank statement. You have to hook up a credit card, or a debit card, and they might occasionally ask for a utility bill. not all the time. There's a couple other options for that as well. But yeah, I mean, that's basically, and then you wait about 2 to 3 days, and then Amazon will be like, yes, you're approved, or no, we need this or whatever. So that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not too much work.
It's
The hard
not
part
that
is if
bad.
you do end up setting an LLC up or something like that, that makes it a little more complicated.
Yep.
But you don't have to do that, or you can do that later. So that's an option for you as well. So,
Yep.
any last minute questions for anyone? This has been super, super great. Seems like a great opportunity. Again, I prefer this to the other. No offense to the other Amazon people we've brought in, but I know Chris better. Chris has a reputation. So if he does something that is unscrupulous, that will hurt him. It'll hurt him more than it'll hurt you,
I
honestly.
got skin in the game.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep,
exactly.
he's got skin in the game, and he's again, he's looking at bigger things than just stealing your, money or something like a little bit of money. Like, he's thinking about bigger things, so he does not want to do that. His YouTube channel would fall apart pretty quickly if he
Just
did
takes one
something.
thing. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. So, final calls to action for people. If people have more questions, what should they do? Should they reach out to me, or is there a good way to get a hold of you for questions?
Yeah, they can reach out to you. They can hit me up at YouTube at chrismccauley.com. They can hit me up on Instagram, Chris McCauley Official. I would say those are probably the two. Email or Instagram is probably the two best ways to find me for sure.
Okay, very good. So again, two options: joining the whitelist for the NFT, which some of Scott's already in there, and then the other option, if you have 10K and you want to get started with at least this first 30 days, which is a hugely generous offer from Chris, you can apply here. And looks like Funny Turo is already in on that. So, and honestly, I'll tell you guys, I'm going to probably hit up Chris right after this to do a 30K. And then I can kind of document that as it goes too. But that's something I will probably be wanting to do on my end as well. So
Cool.
amazing time. Appreciate you, audience. You guys are amazing. Thanks for listening to all of our, Chris, I'm sure appreciates this with his audience too, but we spend so much of our days just looking for all these different business ideas and ways to make money. And just thank you guys for being an audience to listen to what we come up with and what we've done in the past and what we're trying to help other people do as well. So thank you guys. And thanks, Chris, for being a good guy and for building this. And I look forward to kind of growing it with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Always good chatting with you. Yeah, you're a good friend, man. Appreciate it. And we'll talk here soon.
Awesome. Sounds great. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.